All right, Mr. Kearney, how's it going? I'm going to kick this off as an intro with a little joke, okay? You ready?
I'm
What
ready, born ready.
what did the table tennis player say to the other table tennis player on a Sunday?
I don't know, Mark. Tell me.
Hi, welcome back. It's Mark, the table tennis player, coach, enthusiast, whatever you want to call me. We are here for another table tennis chats, this time with Alex Kearney. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, thanks. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I heard you played county yesterday. Are you recovering all right today?
Barely. Yeah. That was good. Great day. Really good standard of table tennis, which is what you want to do, right? You want to play good quality and be surrounded by good individuals. And it was excellent. Really well run event.
Oh, good. Yeah, where was that then?
I was down in Waterside. Fantastic Southampton-based club. Really good facilities and as I say, just really well run.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But a few things to take away then for the Bath scene as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So the whole purpose of this table tennis chats today is to talk all about the Bath Championships, which you've really taken the main driving seat in organising. It's not an easy task, probably a thankless task. So first of all, I've got to say thank you for stepping up into the committee and organising it. Um,
Absolutely fine, Mark. Yeah, no, it's been a real privilege. It's a really good thing to put our names to, and I guess just enhance table tennis within the local area. I think that's the biggest thing we've tried to achieve from this event. Obviously, we've got it yet to come, but on paper, it looks like a fantastic event.
well, of course, this time next week it'll all be over, I guess. What time are we now? We're just before 5 o'clock. So yeah, probably the last event would have come to conclusion, maybe.
I hope so. It's a lot of games. We've worked out we've got over 300 matches that we need to cram in. So
Wow.
just to give you some context about the level of entries and how much we need to get through, I'd say we're north of 300 matches. So it's going to be a busy day of table tennis.
Exactly. No, very enjoyable one. And for those viewers that don't know, the Bath Championships have traditionally been played across the space of a week over at St John's School in Oldfield Park. But that means that the events are very separate and the players don't really see each other. Oscar's not too happy about that, my dog, I think. But yeah, and so this year, obviously, we've got it all in the one brand new venue. He's really not happy about the old way of doing it. Sorry, I might just have to wait for him to stop a sec. There we go. Yeah. But yeah, seriously, he wasn't keen on Oldfield Park's venue there. But yeah. And then this year we're popping it all into the one venue. So we've got the main event, so like the main championships. Then we've got handicap. Is it veterans as well? Um,
That's yeah,
yep. Then we've got what else? We've got the junior competition as well. So that's traditionally been under 15s, under 19s, but may all be in one group. We'll touch on that a little bit later. And then we've also got a new event, which is the mixed or lucky dip doubles, I guess is the best way of calling it, lucky dip doubles. So yeah, I guess as it's a new event, should we start with that one and get some thoughts on what we should expect from that?
yeah. By all means. I mean, I can give you some context to, I guess, the championships, what we've looked to change, and all like that
Yeah,
early on, if that helps.
go for it. Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. So you were dead right. The championship traditionally has been hosted over a week, which has had many positives and also a couple of negatives as well. It's the positives are we've got time, and I think the people who have been running it have done a fantastic job of ensuring that there is competitive table tennis towards the end of the season for players. I think the negatives of it primarily is just around the numbers. We've had to cap our events at 16 players with priority given to top performing individuals in the Premier Division, which for some players who genuinely just enjoy to play table tennis, it's not a conventional way of doing it. We've also been very limited in our events, so we've had an open singles rather than restricting it to men's singles or lady singles, which in years gone by has been the case. So we had previously ran an open singles event, a restricted event for players playing in Division one and below, a handicap event, and a veterans event. So we've had four competitions, which have been good and generally have hit capacity, with a couple of them actually not in the previous year, which is a real shame.
Mm.
So what we've looked to do, in order to bring the event forward, generate more interest, get more players genuinely interested in playing the sport, is firstly centralizing the event. So rather than playing over four tables, which has been a real issue for us in terms of getting the players, we've got a large venue where we're going to have 10 tables up. So that's the first huge change. We've not capped the numbers as well on any of the events, which again has been a huge change. It's the first time we've actually done this in over 30 years, which again is quite telling. And like you've touched on, we've introduced a couple of new events. One of them being the Lucky Dip doubles, which is in my opinion, it's an absolutely fantastic incentive where you know players who would traditionally partner with each other are not allowed. And the whole idea behind it is to try and create a more level playing field where players who maybe are playing in the lower divisions or who are juniors can leverage on some of the stronger players within the league and hopefully pick their brains and maybe taste success in a new competition. So it's been really well thought out event actually. We've had over 40 entries
Wow,
in this event. So
incredible.
again, I cannot remember a time ever, at least in living memory, where we've had a doubles competition that's seen basically over 40 entrants. So yeah, it's looking really good.
Yeah, you touched on a really good point there actually, because I've been playing lower league table tennis, except for the last few seasons where I've somehow got to the top, hanging on coattails. But I found that there really was a gap between your Premier players, and even your Division One players versus when we used to have four divisions, like in the old Division Three and Division Two. You didn't really interact or mix. So yeah, I think you touched on a really valuable point there that. It depends on how the clubs are run, I guess, as well. But certainly, I found it a key centre and a few of the other clubs I've been around over the years that your top players did gravitate towards each other and just kept in their bubble. So particularly the A teams, what have you, would be just the A team as opposed to being mixed into the club. So yeah, no, that would be really invaluable for some players, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, it has the potential to be a really good event, and the draw looks fantastic. We have a couple of preliminary rounds to play before we go into the last 16 draw.
Great.
But again, it's a great opportunity. I think there's 5 or 6 matches to be played prior, before going into the main draw. So yeah, it has the potential to be an excellent event. I'm really looking forward to seeing some players who maybe wouldn't normally enter or definitely wouldn't necessarily enter a doubles competition
Hmm.
to come and join us for a fantastic event.
Yeah, and you said about who would be your preferred double partner, people playing with them. Who would be your preferred double partner if you had to pick anybody to go out and seriously win a competition?
I partner with Dave Hadley.
Yeah, no
Real,
hesitation there.
no hesitation. Love playing with him. Great bloke, and I think we complement each other's styles quite well.
Amazing. I think I'd have to pick mine as actually Ricardo because we did a few social events together over the years and played in the same team for a number of years. So yeah, Ricky, despite you getting very emotional sometimes in the events, I think me and you would wind each other up, but also be a good partner. So yeah, that would be my preferred pick, I think. Um, but yeah, coming on to like the actual day then, it's a brand new venue, Monkton Combe School, so it's a privately run school on the outskirts of Bath. What's the day and the run-in schedule going to look like for people coming, like you say, who haven't been to an event like this before?
That's a good question, Mark, because we're going to be learning with you. No, all jokes aside, we've worked really hard to try and create an event that's got the potential to be well run, where players are not going to be sitting around waiting to get on the table. And I think that's really, really important, especially for hardened veterans of tournament play. That's probably one of the biggest bugbears they face at an event.
Hmm.
So we've tried to make it really fluid. The event will start at 9 o'clock. Doors open 8:30. Um, that gives people time to knock, warm up, mingle, sign in, do everything that they need to do. The actual day itself will start with the veterans event and the junior events, and that's our focus for the first part. And then throughout the day, we will start to run the open singles groups, the restricted groups. The doubles will play basically throughout the day. And like I mentioned to you at the start, we've got over 300 matches to get through. We've got a large amount of games that we need to account for and give them the due diligence that they need, where we're maintaining a competitive atmosphere, but also we're very conscious around how we're setting that up. Um, in terms of the wider setup, we've got Jarvis Sports attending for the first time. I think this is a huge, I guess, like feather in the cap for us, really, because it's a fantastic opportunity for us to showcase the partnership that we've had with Jarvis Sports this year, which has been for us a game changer as a league. And obviously their support's been invaluable to us. So I think it's a great opportunity for players to see what the latest equipment is that's out, potentially be able to try new equipment, see the new blades that have come out, new t-shirts, whatever that may look like. And at a discounted price, which again is a fantastic coup for the league to be able to facilitate a partnership of that level. We've got no cafe on site, like you've mentioned before. It's a school, but we've got the cafe down the road. It's a 7 minute walk from the main hall. They're going to be serving food until 4 o'clock. So absolutely everybody is going to have the opportunity to go out, grab some food, come back, and enjoy the table tennis for what it is, whether that's spectating or playing. Um, and then at the end of the day, hopefully people have the chance to enjoy a beverage and socialise with some of the other players, which again is probably what table tennis is all about. It's about having that competitive flair on the table, but being able to, you know, relax when the bats go down and everything's calm, being able to have a laugh with people who we played with and against, and create that atmosphere. So the plan is to get it all done in a day.
Hmm.
We're trying not to be over optimistic. I think if we can get it right, it should be a really fluid day of table tennis with many players playing in excess of sort of 10 games, and to be able to offer that is fantastic.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And I think you've actually touched on one of the questions that Mark Burnell asked, actually, whether spectators are allowed to come and watch their favorite players. And, hopefully a few will be in our corners respectively, cheering us on. But yeah, is that a thing that we can do with this venue?
Yeah, so the fantastic thing with this venue is we've actually got a dedicated viewing gallery. I mean, players can come and they can get a bird's eye view of the event, which is great.
Hmm.
Um, Beyond that, we should have benches around the hall, just for players to sit. I mean, the reality is, Mark, we've got a huge amount of entries. We've got a large amount of tables ready for the day's event, and my hope would be that we wouldn't have a lot of players sitting around actually.
Hmm.
And I think, like, for context, every single event has exceeded previous years, every event. And if I tell you a figure, that our actual overall entry into some of our events have gone up over 300%,
Wow.
I think I think that says a lot about what we've been trying to achieve.
Definitely, definitely. No, that's really great. And we touched on it earlier, all the different categories, and obviously veterans and juniors coming first. Another question that one of the parents of one of the kids from Keynsham TTC has asked is, what's the sort of format for juniors? Because traditionally we touched on the last few years been under 15s, under 19s. I suspected that it may be all amalgamated into one this time round, but if you can touch on that a little bit, that'd be great.
Yeah. So one of the things which I'm really passionate about is actually that junior development side. I think we need to be investing more in our grassroots table tennis and giving the youngsters the opportunity, one, to enjoy the sport, two, to play the sport, but also give them a pathway to competitive table tennis, which I think is sometimes lacking. You know, having social table tennis is great in terms of engaging, especially the youngsters. But for those who want to elevate their game, we need to give them a pathway to competitive table tennis. One of the biggest struggles I think the Bath League have had, and many a league, I hasten to add,
Yeah.
is generating new young talent coming into the district. Um, Seeing a quick stat prior to this was quite eye opening for me because we only had eight individuals in the junior event last year, which was a real shame. And I believe six of them played in the under 15 event. So when we actually take those statistics and we say, actually, we only had two juniors,
Mm.
actually under 19s, we got two, and the rest were under 15s. I think, like for me, that's a real problem. So there was talk about not running an under 15 event. I think we have to be sensible in terms of not wanting to cheapen a competition, and to run an event with two or three players for me is slightly redundant. We might as well have amalgamated it. However, what we have done, we've managed to have some fantastic conversations with a couple of other clubs around the local area who have really supported us in terms of promoting it and generated us additional players, which is great. We've actually got record numbers in our junior event. Again, if I say to you, we've increased our entry into the juniors just purely on junior players. Um, we've taken it from 2 up to 18. So again, it's going in the right direction.
Mm.
We are running 4 groups in the juniors, quite deep groups, which is fine. And within those groups, we are running an under 15 event
Cool.
within those groups. So one of the groups is purely for players who are a cadet. Now, the way that we're going to operate, and I appreciate this maybe isn't the norm, the top 2 players from that group will go into the main draw for the under 19 event. Um, and that will facilitate their journey within that competition. And obviously, within that under 15 group, we will effectively run a round robin event, um, which again should, in theory, present us with the under 15 champion. However, we are having conversations around still running a finals, like getting the top 2 players to play again for a final,
Okay.
um, and making it a bit of a showcase because we want to showcase the juniors and also get our adult players and our veteran players to see our upcoming talent. And I think that's really important that they get that stage to showcase their skills.
Okay, so if we were to do that, that would be a little bit later on in the day, assumingly then the competition would have ended, and then a little bit later on in the day have that final.
So no, so we're hoping to finalize all the events like as one. I think what the problem you could face, especially with all of the events, is if we leave the events to run later on in the day, you'll get a lot of congestion.
Mm.
There'll be players who are playing in the vets who are also in the open. You'll get players in the juniors who are also in the open.
Yeah,
We
true.
might have doubles outstanding, we might have handicap outstanding, and we can't really run that risk of having that level of congestion late on in the day.
Makes sense.
So the plan is to start the juniors at 9 o'clock, and they're going to run straight through. The plan for us is to keep them to 4 tables. We'll be playing best of 3 in the groups in the junior event, and then we will run into best of 5 following that. The vets is going to run alongside that across 2 tables. So the group depth is about the same,
Mm.
but because the juniors are playing best of 3, the plan is for us to get them into the knockout rounds slightly sooner, and then we can extrapolate that across the tables.
Fantastic. No, it sounds really good, Alex. I mean, I'm so looking forward to it. I've done a lot of talking head stuff, talking about yourself and the event leading up to it, and popping it around our WhatsApp groups. So yeah, hopefully a lot of Kenshin players will be there and representing us quite well. But on to you're actually a player as well, not just an organizer. So on to, I guess, a bit of personal what you're looking to do in the day. You're probably up there and one of the favorites to win any competition you go into. But are there any pathways or scenarios or players you want to avoid, or any paths to the final you prefer? What's your take on the event that you've seen?
So unfortunately for me, I've done the draw. So I know the pathways
You could take.
that are there and available. I mean, the thing to note really, especially with the open singles, is the groups are strong. There's not a single weak group, and to give some context as well around, like, we've had to seed
Mm,
the groups, which has been tricky because, as we all know, especially the players, it's very very hard to facilitate a seeding based on a ranking, and then comes the question around what are the averages looking like, what are the previous results looking like,
mm,
and what we've ended up in is what I believe to be a relatively fair seeding scenario. Um, we've got Joshy Branch, who's obviously come through key centre. He's sitting on top as number one, and rightfully so. He's had a fantastic season. His average is outstanding, and it's not just performance in the Bath areas. It's looking at his performances in Bristol and previous success. Being the current champion, it's a well-deserved seeding. But there are a couple of very, very tricky groups, and I think if you are a runner-up in a group, you've got a tough round,
mm,
regardless of wherever you go. And also, I think that the actual players, their rankings and averages are so condensed.
mm,
So we've got, the 25 and 26 in, rank 25 and rank 26. They could play each other, and all of a sudden it becomes a very competitive tournament which could go either way.
mm.
So
It's good.
um, yeah, the Open is looking like a really, really strong event. I think we've got 42, 43 entries into the Open, which, again, bearing in mind we had 16 last year and the year before for the last X amount of years, is a real, again, it's like a feather in the cap for us, just to enhance the sport to that level and get that level of engagement for players. Um, and we've had over 30% of the league enter.
Mm,
Now, again, for context, which I think is really important, we average 8% of our members entering.
well,
And actually, it's not really 8% because a lot of them play in multiple events. So we're probably averaging 6% over the last 10 years. And we're now in the mid 30s. So it's a really good opportunity.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I've personally not played in the competition for the last, I must say, about 5 years maybe. Just because it's done on those individual nights in February, and it actually it's always my birthday week as well, so it clashes with my birthday almost every time. So yeah, and also like you say, when it's reduced to just 16, and for someone like myself, I may scrape in at number 16, play a group game, find it very tough, and then go home again on an evening. It's kind of, not the best sort of vibe for someone who is one of those players who just loves to play table tennis. But this time round, obviously, with a plate competition, is also a new invention as well of yourself. You want to touch
Yeah.
on
So
that? Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things that we wanted to do was to facilitate more matches for players, and it's like I said to you earlier on, Mark, that some of the groups are really dense in quality, and if you are a Division Two player, I mean, hopefully you play phenomenally and you get through into the main draw. I mean, that's the goal, right?
Hmm.
But by having a scenario where, actually, look, the top two players of the group go through, we're improving the quality of our last 16 draw. And I think that's really important. We want the top top players in that round, really. But also offering the opportunity to go into a knockout playing event. So the reality for us with that is we're going to have 24, 25 players then going into a plate competition and battling it out to effectively be the first ever plate winner. And again, this is something new that we're wanting to do because we want to encourage one more games of table tennis. We know that regardless, every single person who enters into the open competition is going to get five games of table tennis, and as a minimum, as a minimum. And I think that's a really good thing to be able to say and promote. Um, I can say categorically the plate competition is going to be a tough competition. I wouldn't want to be in it, and I think like that's the reality. There's some there's some great players who are maybe going to be in a tough group and end up falling into that. Um, but yeah, so that plate competition is going to be, I'd say, something new for us. We're going to be naming the plate after somebody who's had an impact on the league, something that's one memorable and something that people can relate to. We want it to have a special meaning within the competition, but also within the league for years to come.
Fantastic. No, that's great. I can't wait for that to be revealed. So that's brand new to me to hear that. So no, thank you, Alex. But yeah, I guess finally, well, I guess we're end now on bit of a lighter note, I guess. Bit of a fun note. Um, you've got to try and link it back to Bath, okay? But what two celebrities or sportsmen, it doesn't have to be table tennis players, would you want to see play a table tennis game? It's got to link somehow to the Bath-ish, Bristol-ish area, okay? I'll extend it to Bristol for you.
I have no idea.
Do you want to hear mine first then?
Yeah, go on.
I mean, I think it'd just be fun. I think Scott Sinclair, I say former footballer, I don't think he's signed for Bath City yet. He's still a free agent. I'd like to see him play because I think he's an athlete, so he's gonna be super quick on his reactions, and I think someone that with a bit of coaching you could mold into a good player. Um, and also he would play Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead. Just because I've got connections. We both went to the same schools basically, and my sister was in the same year as him. So yeah, I think those two very different characters on the end of the table.
Yeah,
I mean, if he has his Walking Dead gun with him, I think he might win. But otherwise, yeah, it should be a good contest, I think, and it would draw a lot of eyes on table tennis. So yeah, that's my dream
really,
celebrity matchup. How about yours?
I'm really sorry, Mark. I don't know anyone who I could link to the area off the top of my head.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, well,
I'm
okay. And
sorry.
any celebrity then. Celebrity big mashup. You're gonna say like Schwarzenegger and someone else, aren't you?
No, I think Jimmy Carr
Okay.
would be one of them because I think I'd like to see him work up a sweat for a change. I
Awesome.
think that would be a good one. Um, and then I reckon Jamie Vardy.
Oh, that'd be
I
great.
think
He'd be
I
buzzing.
think he I think he'd get a bit fed up after a while. So
Just
yeah, that probably be my two. Just change it up a little bit and see how
uh,
they get on. I think that would be quite good,
yeah, that backwards laugh versus Red Bull, basically, isn't it? Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's good fun. Well, thank you for joining me, mate. Make sure if you guys watching like this video, then make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we can keep talking about table tennis right here in the local area. But no, thank you, Alex. You can get back to watching Arsenal Man City now.
thank you very much. All right, all the best. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, all the best. Thank you.